Welcome to AI in 8 minutes or less, your daily AI update. Okay, today we're exploring a concept that is absolutely changing the game for builders, creators, and entrepreneurs. In this explainer, we're going to look at how you can become a literal one-person wrecking machine. We're talking about taking a complex idea straight from your brain and deploying it to the real world, all by yourself. You're essentially operating as a virtual CEO, and we'll do this by walking through how to build a full-stack stock investing app using a seriously powerful tool called ChatGPT 5.5 Codex. Let's get right into it.
Let's jump right into a pretty bold claim from our source material today. The creator states, and I quote, "I am absolutely in love with ChatGPT 5.5 Codex. It is currently by far the best way to be building apps with AI." Now, the implication behind that quote, it's massive. It means this specific tool allows literally anyone to build complete full-stack applications from scratch. No prior coding experience, no problem. And when we say full stack, we mean the whole shebang, the visual front end that users actually interact with, plus the hidden back-end database that makes it all function.
So, to really understand the current landscape of AI coding assistants, let's look at how ChatGPT 5.5 Codex stacks up against its main rival, Claude Code. There is a stark contrast in accessibility right now. Codex is offering this incredibly generous free tier, backed up by highly reliable smarts. On the flip side, the source points out that Anthropic has been actively lowering their usage limits, and they actually just removed Claude Code entirely from their $20 a month tier. And look, hitting a strict usage limit, it's basically like your lead developer just abruptly clocking out at 2 p.m. If you want to stay in that glorious flow state without constantly worrying about hitting a wall, Codex is currently the clear standout. All right, so how do we actually leverage all this accessibility? Well, it requires a fundamental shift in your mindset. You are no longer just a coder. You've got to think bigger. You are operating under what we call the virtual CEO workflow. Instead of sitting there typing out every single line of code yourself, you are now managing a suite of dedicated AI employees all operating simultaneously. You're the director, setting the vision and sending out your digital workforce to execute it. To see this virtual CEO workflow in action, our source builds out a real-world anchor project, a stock investing app. And the foundational setup here is broken down into 3 absolutely crucial steps. First up, designing the user interface. Second, connecting a robust database to store our user data. And third, spinning up multiple AI agents to handle different complex tasks all at the same time. Now, just to put that into perspective, a few years ago, coordinating those 3 steps would take a dedicated team of 5 people an entire month to pull off. Today, it's a super streamlined approach that takes an idea from zero to a fully functioning application in record time. The really interesting part about step 1 is how we actually kick things off. We don't start by staring at a blank screen of complex code. No, we start with visual design. It's actually revolutionary that a coding tool starts out by essentially acting as your graphic designer. Codex uniquely integrates OpenAI's Image Gen 2 model right into its workspace. So you just give it a simple prompt, like saying you want a clean, visually powerful stock app, and boom, it generates 5 distinct visual UI options for you to choose from. We're talking sleek, dark mode layouts that beautifully display a user's portfolio. You get to visualize and lock in the exact look of your app before a single line of code is ever generated. Okay, once you've picked that visual design, we move right into step 2, the back end. Look, if you want to build a real business and not just a pretty prototype, you have to have a database. Think of a database as the memory of your app. It's what lets the application actually remember who your users are and what stocks they've saved. The explainer highlights the seamless integration of a database tool called Convex. And what makes Convex such a game changer here is its generous free tier, which is just perfect for our virtual CEO setup. You literally just tell the AI to integrate Convex, and it hooks up a permanent storage solution so your app can reliably save real user portfolio data. Now, this is where it gets really fun. Let's look at your virtual CEO roster. You're dividing tasks up almost like a real corporate org chart, but, without the endless boring meetings. Check this out. While your main agent is heads down coding the core application, you can spin up a marketing agent equipped with a design skill called Remotion to simultaneously build a launch video for you. And if that wasn't enough, at the exact same time, you can spin up a research agent using the browser use skill to scour the live web for the best AI stocks. The creator uses this truly fantastic analogy to describe this feeling of delegation. They said, "I almost feel like I'm doing a Zergling rush." Now, if you're a fan of the classic video game StarCraft, you know exactly what that means. It perfectly captures that sheer, overwhelming power of dispatching a massive swarm of units, in this case, your AI agents, to aggressively execute dozens of different tasks at the exact same time. This is a completely new paradigm for human productivity, and honestly, it's a little bit mind-blowing to witness. And the output of this agent rush, it is staggering. Just wrap your head around this number: 40 seconds. While the main app was being coded, that marketing agent we just talked about autonomously generated a complete 40-second motion graphic launch video. This brilliantly shows off the interconnectedness of these AI tools, because the video didn't just use some generic stock graphics. It perfectly matched the exact custom UI that you designed back in step one. A marketing asset that would normally cost thousands of dollars and take weeks was done in the background, all while you were probably just taking a sip of your coffee. Crazy, right? So, moving right along into step 3, our focus shifts to refining the product while it's being built. Codex has these incredible in-app features that make testing highly intuitive. For example, it features a built-in browser. That means the AI is literally acting as its own quality assurance or QA tester. It's clicking around and testing its own code as it writes it. But even cooler than that is the visual annotation tool. You can open the live preview of your app, click directly on a specific element on the screen, and instantly tell the AI, hey, add a working dark mode button right here. Of course, we all know a financial app is completely useless without real data. The source shows how seamlessly the AI hooks up third-party APIs to solve this exact problem. Now, if you aren't familiar, just think of an API as a digital bridge. It lets two completely different apps talk to each other. By simply asking the agent to find and integrate a free price API, it autonomously connects to a service like AlphaVantage. And suddenly, your app isn't just a pretty empty shell anymore. It's successfully crossing that digital bridge to pull in real-time, live stock prices for major companies like NVIDIA and Microsoft. Now, as our app really starts to take shape, we hit a strategic pause. And this brings us to a really cool secret weapon the source relies on, called reverse prompting. Instead of you always dictating the next task, you flip the script. You literally just ask the AI, so what do you think should be the next few things we build out? You are intentionally pausing to lean on the model's superintelligence to guide your own strategic decision-making. It acts as a brilliant temperature check to ensure you're prioritizing the right features for your users. But what happens after the app is actually built? How do we maintain the thing? Well, beyond active coding, Codex allows you to set up persistent background automations. The creator demonstrates how you can actually instruct Codex to autonomously scan your GitHub repository every 24 hours. For context here, a GitHub repository is basically the master folder where all your code securely lives, and a commit is just a saved update to that code. This means that while you are literally sleeping, your AI is reviewing those saved updates, actively checking for bugs, and suggesting code quality improvements completely automatically. So the absolutely crucial takeaway here is this. The traditional barriers to entry for building complex, scalable software, they have been completely shattered. You've got the visual design, the database, the live data feeds, and an entire multitasking workforce of AI agents right at your fingertips. Which leaves us with one final exciting question to think about. What will you build first as a one-person wrecking machine? If you enjoyed this, subscribe to AI in 8 minutes and never miss what matters.